Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Sanch, welcome back to the Bodybuilding News Network. We're going to be recapping the press conference for the 2024 Mr. Olympia. So if you're interested in something like that, definitely stay tuned. We have some courtesy footage to roll in the background for you from none other than Olympia legend coach Hani Rambod. So we will run that so you have something to look at in the background. Now, what I want to focus on here is I want to focus on the pros and cons, the things that I noticed in this episode, and how we can hopefully find a way to improve upon these things. So if you have things that you noticed during this press conference, definitely leave it down below if I don't cover it here. But let's go ahead and jump right into some of the pros that I thought from this conference. I thought that the lighting was good. I thought that the sound was good. I liked that everyone had an opportunity to speak, and I liked the format somewhat of bringing out the men and the women. Separating it that way is a good move in the right direction. Dan Solomon and Jake Wood, we do appreciate the attempts to make it better. Ever since they kind of made those big changes in 2020, we've been trying to find a way to make it palatable. The Olympia team has been trying to make it better. And although I think that it would be beneficial for them to go back in time to, in theory, regress back to 2020 with the tables and the suits and bringing out the people by the divisions, I think that that would be a benefit. But I understand that they're trying to do something new here. They're trying to make something exciting for the fans, and I can appreciate that. I can salute that. That is essentially the end of my pros. Let's go ahead and jump into the cons, or ways we can improve moving forward in 2025 for the 2025 Mr. Olympia, hopefully as it stays in Las Vegas. Some of my feedback notes are reducing introductions to only left to right by name. If you watched the almost 2 hours of the women's press conference, is essentially how they broke it up. Was the first 20 minutes was late, they didn't get started on time, and then it was a good 20 to 30 minutes of the MC Bob Chiccarello, however you want to say his name, doing a monologue talking about the Olympia and the history before that. And then Dan comes on, Dan Solomon, the president of the Olympia, did a good speech talking about the different things and how the Olympia started, ran a promotional video talking about the movie for the Mr. Olympia. Looks like produced by Generation Iron. I'm kind of iffy on them. I don't really find them as a very ethical company, but if Dan picked them, then there must be something I'm not seeing, because Dan is a good dude. He's been in the industry for decades. He actually started off essentially kind of like how I started off, doing an online radio show like this. So reducing the introductions just to names left to right, instead of them giving a speech about what the person's done, what they're known for, their nickname, their favorite color, the order of their birth of their children, if they're a mother or not. Cut all of that out to save time on the production of the Olympia and focus on the names, the first and the last. Maybe introduce them by division, so all the wellness ladies that you want to bring up, if you bring up 2, if you bring up 4, if you bring up 5, it doesn't matter. Do it like that. I think that that would be a much better, more streamlined approach to getting these athletes out on stage, giving them an opportunity to speak, to advocate for themselves, and also to add value to the Olympia production and making it a better show. So that's kind of my big takeaway from the first point. Reducing introductions of athletes to just their names from left to right as they sit down. Bob or whoever, maybe someone a little bit more ethical, can introduce these fine athletes, these ladies, in their order of how they approach the stage. That's my first big takeaway, Dan. I hope you take it. Next up, the DJ dropping random sounds. It was definitely distracting, and it was definitely cheesy at some points, playing different sound effects and whatnot. The DJ needs to just kind of take it easy. And Dan, I know you're making it more of a production. You're making it a show for the athletes and for the fans. But I'll say, as a fan and as a person of the media, I did not see that the DJ was adding too much value to the show outside of maybe playing a little bit of introduction music as we have transitional phrases, different cuts and scenes. You can play some music in the background just to fill the dead air. I get it. I respect it. Production, spot on. But the DJ dropping the random sounds, I did not like. That is point 2. Point 3, the layout needs to go back to the tables in the dress suits. As I reiterated, or as I initially stated in the beginning of this video, I understand Dan Solomon, Jake Wood, the rest of you team, Mr. Algundi, you guys want to make something new, something unique, something signature that you guys can put your seal on that says that, hey, this is ours. I get it. I respect it. I would like to see you continue to make your own thing, but also keep in mind what is the best thing that you can do for the athletes and what you can do to create the best product possible for the fans, for the audience, for the athletes, for people, the media like myself. And when you look at that, if you look over the entire history of the Mr. Olympia competition for the last 60 years, the best Mr. Olympias have been when the press conference has the tables, the tier systems, and the different men and women athletes that come out. They're wearing suits, they're wearing dresses, they're wearing really nice formal outfits. They're not wearing track suits, they're not wearing shorts, they're not wearing cowboy hats. They make it look like a professional production. And I know Dan and Jake, this is your guys' goal, is to make it a very professional production. So those are probably my huge feedbacks of things that you could, I don't know if it's easy, but these are very tangible things that you can do to improve next year. And this is just day 1 of the Olympia. We have 3 more days to go if you include the Superstar Seminar on Sunday. Last but certainly not least, we want to see the runtime of the press conference come down a little bit. I understand that it was 20 minutes late to start. Bob, the MC, had about a 20-minute monologue. Dan Solomon came up, about another 20-minute monologue, a little bit of a transitional period. But there was probably a good 30 to 35 minutes minimum of just introductions of athletes by their name, their nicknames, where they've competed, and what they're known for. All of that can get cut out. You could probably save 55 minutes on the production of your press conference by cutting out Bob standing up there talking about random stories. Just have him introduce things. Cut the personality out. Nobody likes that personality. He's terrible. He's insufferable. Cut that out, and also reduce the introduction time and just introduce the athletes, like I said, from left to right by name. Those are my huge feedbacks from the press conference. I liked how, I know I probably mentioned it before, I did like how some of the athletes were able to kind of talk a little bit. I'd say in the ladies' portions, there was a couple people that really went on long monologues. And you just got to talk to these ladies to make sure that they're not going on these long tangents. It takes away from the production of the video, of the production of the production of the production. I'll also say that I liked how Samson was the only guy that got up there and posed, but it definitely seemed that nobody was interested in risking their stock by doing that pose with him. I thought that was a good look for him. I thought that it was nice that he got up there and posed, but like I said, no one was willing to get up there and pose with them. Now, how you could fix that is if you put people up there that are willing to take that risk. Andrew, Samson, Hottie, and Derek are all in that conversation. They could all win. Brandon Curry's never going to win again, so he really should have been up there posing as well, but I don't know why he wasn't. The guy's just, I mean, you guys are really giving him a handout, just keep pushing him up there. I mean, top 4 last year was wild. But hey, if that's what you guys judged it, then by all means, continue doing your thing. Now, what I'm saying, men's open. Put more guys up there. You know, you can take out Chris, Wesley, the men's physique, the wheelchair guys, put them all in their own thing. This show is built on the backs of Mr. Olympia competitors and Mr. Olympia champions. This show's not built on wheelchair competitors. It's not built on men's physique. It's not built on classic physique. Put those guys in their own thing. Let them have their own thing. Let them have the inclusivity of the new Olympia. Let them do their thing. Let them have a thing. But have the men's open. Have the Mr. Olympia contenders. Have them center stage and have them as the focus. Stop essentially punishing the men's open bodybuilding because they're too successful in trying to pander to these other divisions that aren't as successful. People are here to watch the men's open. Give the men's open an opportunity to show themselves. Instead of just picking 5 people, have the top 10. Have a projected top 10 or maybe definitely top 5 and then pick out people that are interesting and people that will actually add to the production and make people want to watch the live stream. I had people in the media that weren't even interested in watching the live stream because they knew it wasn't going to be entertaining, because they know that the press conference is dead and no one wants to watch it anymore. We need to move away from that kind of mindset, and we need to breathe life into this press conference, into next year's press conference, by taking these tangible notes and improving in 2025. That's what I hope the Olympia Committee does. I hopefully will be there next year, as long as my schedule does not restrict me as it did this year. I hope to be there. I hope to be advocating for the athletes and helping the promoters make better shows. I'm your host here on the Bodybuilding News Network, Josh Sanch. Thanks for watching. Check out Dragon Pharma as they sponsored the Monday Morning Muscle podcast. And I'll see you, ladies and gentlemen, on day 2 for prejudging at this year's 2024 Mr. Olympia. Thanks for watching.